Welcome to the Investor Coaching Show, a podcast to help you get an insider's view of the financial world and escape common investment traps. We look at the financial news of the day and help you make sense of it so you can relax about money. And here's your host, Paul Winkler.
All right, we're back here in the Investor Coaching Show. Paul Winkler along with Evan Barnard. PaulWinkler.com is the website. I've got to make sure that I say that from time to time because it's probably a good idea to mention the website. The big, beautiful website. Well, there it is, big and beautiful, and it has, I was actually exploring parts of the website that I haven't looked at in quite a while and going, this is a big, beautiful website.
It is.
There's a lot of really cool stuff on here. And if you ever wonder what does Paul think the biggest problem that investors face? Well, there's a video on that. We've got a video on there. If you go to About Us and you go to, on top of the website and you go Our Approach, and there it is, man, the investor's dilemma. If you want to know why investors get underperformance and why it is that they struggle, that's it right there. So that is the big deal. I'm laughing at Evan, trying to get attention. Oh my goodness. So we got to talking, Evan and I did during the break. Happiness.
Yeah.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. What makes people happy? What makes them miserable? How do we get more happiness? And we were talking about Arthur Brooks last hour.
Yeah. And
apparently he was on CNBC talking about this very thing. And I have no clue if I'm in the right part of the video on this because I couldn't test it. But let's see where it was, because they had a couple good points that he made. And let's just hit this real quick.
Does that make you unhappy? I would imagine it does.
Yes.
How do you think about this?
So when we're talking about affordability and inflation, it's not about happiness. It really is about unhappiness. The government can't bring you happiness. It can't. What it can do is eliminate.
Oh, that's shocking. What do you think, Evan? The government can't bring me happiness? I mean, really?
Well, his follow-up amplifies that point.
Oh, I know that.
Sources of unhappiness, and it can bring you a lot of unhappiness. The number one source of unhappiness that governments typically bring to citizens is not actually maintaining a stable price level, because it chips away at the purchasing power of people, and they hate it. It's a tax. It's a
I think that's true.
Oh, totally.
Well, when he said, the first thing that came to my mind is government can't bring you happiness. And I'm thinking, why does it make people unhappy? And I was thinking about, was it Jordan Peterson or somebody like that talking about, I think it was Jordan Peterson.
Probably.
And he was talking about why is it we can't get ourselves to do the things we know that we should do? And he said something to the effect that because we're tyrants.
Oh.
I mean, if you think about it, if you are setting a goal for yourself of getting fit, or you're setting a goal for yourself to get your finances in order, or you're setting a goal to do anything that's positive in your life, there's a part of you that rebels.
Yes.
And goes, no, you're not going to take control of this ship. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. And, it's like there's a tyrant. And I think, well, what if the tyrant is outside of you? Telling you what to do and how to do it, or affecting your life? That's even worse.
Yes.
If it's me, at least it's a benevolent dictator telling me what to do.
Right.
It's supposed to be in my best interest. But yeah, that's what I thought of as soon as I heard that. Stream of consciousness when I hear stuff.
It's bad policy, and everybody knows it. So when politicians say it's not that bad, it just enrages people, and quite justifiably.
Oh, yeah. Nothing worse than when somebody has been through something difficult than for you to go up to them and say, you know what, it could be worse.
Right. Or just say, it's not really bad anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to gaslight you, right?
Or compare.
You're not really going through anything difficult.
My trial was much worse than your trial.
Yeah, it's just your imagination that things are difficult.
Yeah.
No, that's...
So that's job number one. If you look at the top 3 reasons why people didn't vote for Kamala Harris, which was really
so
about,
he gets political there. So you know me, I'm always jumping over the political stuff, because that's yeah.
but he's doing it wrong.
Okay, tell me. I want to know.
What's the secret? What are we
If you
screwing
have
up?
some money,
Yeah. If you've
can
got
you
some
buy
money,
a modicum of happiness?
you can, because there's 5 things that you can do. Mother Nature wants you to do one thing, and your impulses tell you to do the one thing that won't buy happiness, which is getting stuff. So people get a little bit above, the parapet. They're starting to make a little bit more money. They get a second watch, whatever it is, a nicer car, et cetera, et cetera. And then you get into this hedonic adaptation where it's like more.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
even
and
on
stuff
steroids.
won't do it.
Yeah.
Stuff won't do it. We all know that. The new car smell fades. We adapt. That's
Well, and it's kind of what I've always said is that sometimes we want to feel like we're successful because people have made us feel maybe unsuccessful, or make us felt as less than. And if I'm driving a really nice car and living in a really nice house, I'm going to prove to those people that hated me growing up and
Yes.
picked on me
Oh,
growing
totally.
up that I've made it.
Totally.
What are your thoughts on it, Evan?
Well, as he was going through that, it was like, boy, that sounds a lot like our presentation on the destructive cycle of wealth.
Yes.
And, scarcity, and then you have a need and you meet the need, and then it's comparative analysis and fear.
You meet the need, but the need is like for transportation.
Yeah.
But what do you meet it with? A want.
a Rolls,
A
or
want.
something.
Yeah. It's like the thing I talked about last week. I was talking about the doctors being miserable.
Yes.
And this one doctor made the comment that, he says he pulls up to this parking lot at the hospital and he feels like he's in a German car lot.
Yeah, probably.
And they're all driving these super, super high-end vehicles. Yeah, for sure.
what we do to stuff. But there's 4 other things that you can do, and they all buy happiness.
Okay, here we
Number
go.
1 is buying experiences with people you love. So that,
Yeah, and we've talked about that here
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Buying experience. Younger people are doing that in droves these days. And
yeah.
it was one of those things, Evan, that they were talking about how they're buying experiences almost too much and not saving anything for the future in exchange for, you're looking around. So you have seen something like that, haven't you? That was the idea. It was like what's happening. They're buying experiences. They're going out on trips and doing all kinds of things, but they're not saving any money is the problem that we're running into. So what did you find? Yeah.
Well, it's tied to this, but this is from the Wall Street Journal. Kyla Scanlon, who wrote this, "Why My Generation is Turning to Financial Nihilism." It might seem reckless for Gen Z to gamble money on meme coins and sports, or in this case, spending money soon on expenses.
Okay.
But many of us have lost confidence in the traditional ladder of success. And so her assertion is some of this behavior is the system is failing. You know, it's almost like you've had a diagnosis, and so I'm going to spend my money before my illness takes over, and get my bucket list stuff because I think the deck is stacked against me. I'm just not going to try anymore. What's the point? And so they're more willing to kind of throw the dice on, in this case, very speculative investments. And if you don't think that the system is going to work for you, go to college, get a job, save, then yeah, it makes it much more palatable to say, let's take the kids to Disney World or Universal or Gatlinburg or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's hopelessness kicks in. It's like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
bother?
Yep,
If
exactly.
this isn't going to work, if I'm going to play by the rules, I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do, and it's still not going to work, don't even try. Why bother?
Yeah.
And that is, I was actually talking to a young guy the other day, and this was the very topic that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And I wish I could remember what the topic was, but it was something to that effect: is don't even try. It's not even worth it. And so very, very true.
that's why a vacation with people you love. That's why if you're going to get a beach house, not for the house, buy the beach house as an attraction, as a magnet for the people that you love to spend time with them. That's why an expensive vacation to Disney, for example, is really, really great and meaningful and wonderful if you're with the people that you love and you're making memories.
And that's it, connection. So
Right.
if your value that you have, that you hold dear. Money is just a tool to express what you value. And if what you value is connection, buying a nicer house so that people think that you're worthwhile of hanging out with, as I often say, or having a really super nice car to show that you're respectable and you are worthy of being connected with, is not the best way. And, as a matter of fact, I was telling a friend of mine earlier today, there was something, and without spoiling what she said, she was doing something. And I says, well, here's the reality. If you do this, you're going to look really good and all your friends are going to be jealous of you. And then they won't connect with you anymore because they'll be jealous with you. And that actually hurts connection. And she just started laughing. And I says, hey, when I start talking psychology, we're really good at reframing things.
Yeah. But people are people.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. But it is absolutely true. It's so often on Facebook, and I will do that with people. Say, okay, you see somebody that has this dream vacation, they have a lovely life, and they look really, really great. Do you feel more connected with them? And they're, no, I hate them.
Right.
Ooh, do you want people to hate you? Oh my gosh, no, I don't. Well, that's what's happening when you're showing all the good stuff that you have going on in your life and you're not letting anybody see. Now, I'm not saying go out and put all your pain out there for everybody to cry.
Don't cancel your Christmas tree.
No. No, but I'm just saying, watch it when you get into this competing with people to show them how much better you are, because that backfires when it comes to relationships. And I think that's what he's saying right there.
That's number one.
Okay.
Number two is buying time. And buying time means paying other people to do things so that you have more free time to cut your yard, to clean your house, whatever it happens to be. But you got to spend your time doing something personally edifying or with people that you love. Scrolling social media doesn't count. Watching TV doesn't count. Don't waste the time that you're buying. Be super propulsive about it. That will buy happiness.
Okay.
But by the way, there's
oh man, that's so true.
That's a huge one to me.
Yeah.
Is buy time, but don't squander the time that you just bought by having someone take care of something else. Don't just use that to go through Facebook. Go, garden, whatever.
Yeah. And spend time on the things that you're really good at in your area of distinctive genius. The areas, and that's not ego, distinctive genius. Every last one of you has something that you're really, really good at. And that people, I'll tell them, ask your friends. Because sometimes we're not the greatest judge of what our distinctive genius is. Mm-hmm. If I were in a pinch, if you were in a pinch, excuse me, if you were in a pinch and you needed something done, what would you have me do? What is it that you see that, because we don't often think that everybody has our same gifts and talents.
Right.
We don't recognize that there are things. And, ask your friends, what is it that you see that I'm really, really good at? And they'll tell you. You're like really phenomenal at this, because a lot of times we don't recognize what we're really good at.
And it won't necessarily be your profession as their answer.
No.
Maybe something totally different.
Yeah. And you may go, gosh, I didn't realize, well, that's really hard for me. And you're like really good at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will do that kind of thing. So yeah. And the reality of it is, I think of it this way, Evan, I'm just going to just throw it out how I think about it. Sometimes hiring other people to do stuff allows me to let them use their gifts and talents.
Oh, totally.
And lets them serve, because so often, like, we hear about, people are often calling other people all kinds of names these days. It's, he's narcissistic.
Reflexively.
Well, narcissism. Everybody's a narcissist, and it's overused. But here's, thinking about that particular thing, is there are people that are on the other side of the scale. It's really a spectrum. Mm-hmm. You have people that are really, really far on the right-hand side where they're super, super narcissistic, all the way to the far left-hand side where they won't let anybody, they are self-effacing all the time. Mm-hmm. And there are people out there that won't let anybody do anything for them.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you rob people of their blessing to you when you don't let them do anything for you. Mm-hmm. You don't let them show you what they're really good at, because you won't let them do anything. No, I'll handle that. No, don't worry about it. And a lot of times what happens is people could be helping you, saving you time and giving you precious time because we only have so much of it. The hourglass, the sand keeps going through it.
Right.
And you recognize as you get older that it's, that the sand's running out. Let other people do that. My father was really good at that. My father would hire these high school kids. Mm-hmm. And one kid in particular, he didn't have a dad. And he would hire him to work around the house. And that kid became so attached to my dad that to this day, and literally here we are 13 years later, my father has passed away, where literally that kid still gets in touch with me.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is kind of like I'm the surrogate for him. And yeah, that's really good stuff.
Brother you never had.
That actually loved to garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so yeah, that's really good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Let's do more of that on the other side because I like where he's going.
Yeah.
Hey, just a note to you podcast folks, we just came out with a retirement income guide, and I'm super excited about this. There are all kinds of myths about taking income in retirement. People worry about running out of money, and rightfully so, because a lot of these myths can actually cause that. Now, the myths that you typically hear about, number one, dividends, living off dividends in retirement. Real estate, life insurance as a retirement investment, and annuities, and interest-bearing accounts, and target date funds. There are all kinds of things out there. What I want to do is put something together that walks through why those things are problematic, number one. Number two, the other thing that I wanted to do is walk through the evidence-based research on taking income in retirement. And we got a ton of data going all the way back to 1900. What's the logic behind it? And it's intensely logical. So we put that together, and all you have to do to download that, making it super simple, just go to paulwinkler.com/relax, and you can actually get into that very easily right there. So I would urge you to do that. Check it out, because I think you're going to really like it. paulwinkler.com/relax.
All right, Paul Winkler, Evan Barnard. I think that was an ad for an investment person that does what we tell people not to do. Not just me. Oh, well. Then the Christmas spirit goes on. Okay, Paul Winkler, Evan Barnard, paulwinkler.com is the website to avoid all of the stuff that we tell people not to do that traditional investment planning firms do. But we're talking about happiness. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, so what money is just a tool to express what you value. What do you value? How do you figure it out? Well, a lot of times you figure out what it is. I've heard people say, look at your checkbook, but nobody uses checkbooks anymore.
I know.
I can tell you a lot about yourself when I look at your checkbook.
Look at your debit card statement and your calendar.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about,
time.
Say time is money, but,
buying time
is
and using time
in
a productive manner, not just doom scrolling.
Mm-hmm. And going out and buying experiences
with other people that you care about.
With people that you care about, so connecting, but everything with moderation. Yeah. Don't get to the point where you just spend all your time, and blowing all your money on that. Recognizing that the future's probably coming. Mm-hmm. One of the articles I read this week was a lady that was just so angry that this person that was a financial writer was spending all their time on fixing millionaires' problems.
Oh, uh-huh.
And talking about how she only had $100,000 and in his mid-70s, her husband was still working. And just how scared she was that she was going to end up under a bridge. No kidding.
Wow.
She was absolutely deathly afraid of this. And I thought, wow, how do you not? And then the writer said, you know what? You're not alone. It said $100,000 at your age. You know how much people typically have? About $130,000. And I thought, oh, man. So, making sure that you put money aside because, boy, that future's coming. You may think it's not, but it's probably going to come unless you get hit by a bus or something like that. And that's a joke we often hear. Most people, that's not the way it happens. They usually end up going to old age. So prepare. And how else do you put the happy in the holidays? Yeah, Arthur Brooks goes on.
This is going to be to give away. Yeah, that's number 3. Number 3 is giving your money away, but you have to give it to things that you love. A lot of people who are very rich, they don't like philanthropy because they don't have very much interest in the things that they're expected to give money to. You live in Omaha, and you have to join the board of the Omaha something hospital, because that's what, and to be a member, a functioning member of society.
Boy, is that not true?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah, I'm supposed to do this, and we don't think about that. Maybe what that hospital is doing isn't really that. It's not. It isn't something that juices me. Says.
Yeah, and I mean, in general, doing anything that you feel is an obligation doesn't generally create happiness.
No. If you got something you're passionate about, you're going, man, that is an injustice. That is wrong. That is wrong. And you're really passionate about it. Maybe that's what you ought to be donating to. Maybe that's what you ought to be supporting.
Yeah.
Wow, good stuff.
Because all the things you're talking about are things that I think Warren Buffett figured out.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Well, he actually
lives a modest life, doesn't spend.
And he gave his money to Bill Gates.
Yeah,
because Bill Gates is super good at philanthropy, and he's like, I'm not good at this. I'm good at investing.
That's funny. It's, you think about that. That's funny. You may or may not agree at all with things that Bill Gates stands for, but it is funny. He is good at saying no to people. Because when you have money to give away, people will line up.
Yeah.
And there is a lesson to be learned about how Bill Gates handled philanthropy.
Yeah.
Isn't that true? I mean, when you got
billions with
billions.
the causes, like you said, but it's very well structured. I mean, it's been a very purposeful thing for years with the foundation.
Yeah. So that is interesting that they bring Warren Buffett up and Bill Gates.
Philanthropy is not my thing. I'm going to give it to the expert in philanthropy. And that gave him more joy. You got to find something you're really, really passionate about. My wife and I, Esther and I.
And there's one part of me that isn't crazy about that. Get good at it. Don't delegate it to somebody else's passions.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
That's true.
That's one thing I would just take. I would take an opposite view on regarding how he thought about that.
I'm very passionate about Catholic education. Right. Catholic education. We give almost all of our philanthropy, which is 10%.
Okay, so that's where he's talking about his stuff right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, this is Paul Winkler. Hope you enjoyed today's edition of the Investor Coaching Show. If you want to learn more about what we do, go to our website, paulwinkler.com. Until next time, I'm Paul Winkler, reminding you that I believe that more educated investors are more confident investors, and confident investors are more successful investors. Have a great one. Advisory services offered through Paul Winkler, Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine what investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Paul Winkler, Inc. does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation.